Okay, here we are. I think we are live. I think we're going. It says streaming. This is my first time doing a live one. I just figured it's easier than saving it and then uploading it. We're just going to go live, especially because I'm going through this stuff a little quicker now. The past ones that I've done, I like play out the games. You still sim them in out of the park, but I enter the games and make the decisions. In this one now, I'm just the GM of the Rockies, 1993, coming in as an expansion team. So gonna do the expansion draft and see how everything unfolds in an alternate universe. So we already simmed through 1992. That was the last video that I did. Um, Pittsburgh Pirates won the whole thing. Let's check that out again here. Here's standings. They won in 7 games. And they also won, here's the playoff tree. They also won the CS, the championship series, NLCS, in 7 games over the Braves. So these are your 4 playoff teams. That's how it worked back in 92 and 93. You had 4 playoff teams. You had to win your division to go to the playoffs, and that was it. So let's go back to standings. So it was like this. Now, there were less teams in the NL because you did not have the Marlins and the Rockies yet. So there's been a bunch of realignment, obviously, over the years. What I'm doing in this sim, so like I said, I'm the expansion Rockies coming into 1993, acting as the GM. So I just hired a manager. We'll go over all that in a minute. But then I'm gonna act as, I don't know, I guess the commissioner to an extent as well, by making some decisions. For example, well, we're gonna have a 1994 season. We're not gonna strike like they did in real life. And in '94 in real life, they added the wild card, which I thought was a great idea because it's so cutthroat to have 4 teams make the playoffs. Out of it was 26 before the Rockies and Marlins came in. Now it's 28. You got 7 in each division, 7 times 4, but still 4 out of 28 teams. Come on now. So we're gonna have well, so in real life they went to the East, Central, and West. So there were 6 teams that were gonna make the playoffs plus a wild card in the AL, wild card in the NL. So 8 total teams. I like that a lot better. But how we're gonna do our 8 in this new universe? So 1993, we're going to do this, and then going forward through 94, etc., is we're going to keep this all the same. We're not going to go East, Central, West, but I'm thinking the Cardinals are going to go to the West. The Braves will go to the East because they're obviously further west than Atlanta. And St. Louis is like the gateway to the west or east, or I think they say west, right? Gateway to the west. So I don't know. I guess that stuff always just kind of started because it like they stayed in their divisions and they couldn't move around or whatever. But we're gonna move them around because we can do that, and then it makes a little more sense. You're gonna have mostly Eastern teams and mostly Western teams. St. Louis kind of not super west. Cincinnati, not super west, but you got to do what you got to do, right? So I do like the idea of a central east and west. So we might do that eventually, but for this year, we're going to have just the west and the east, and then we're going to have 2 wild cards for each league, the AL and the NL. But it's not going to be out of just the west or the east. I'm thinking it's going to be just overall. So, like, you win the division, so the Pirates would have made it, the Braves would have made it, and then the next best records. So the Mets and then the Expos. So you'd have 2 wild card teams out of the NL East. So those would be your 4 playoff teams. The Braves would play one of these teams. Whoever has, I guess the Braves with the best record would play the Expos. Pirates would play the Mets. So, and then same thing in the AL. So I just think that's a little more fair, right? Like, now, I guess one argument that could be made against that, and for just having a wild card in the NL and a wild card in the NL East and a wild card in the NL West, would be that the teams are weighted against playing each other. Like the schedule is weighted, so NL East teams are all playing NL East teams. So if they kind of like beat up on each other and their records are worse, maybe, then that could help the West. So I guess if you said you have to come out of that division and you get a wild card out of that division, there could be an argument made for that. So I'm still leaning toward we're gonna just have two wild cards in the entire NL, and I could change it to where, see, if we go to league settings, we're on. Let's see, how do we get there? Is it options? Yeah, here it is. Um, so it's schedule. You could go with interleague play if we wanted. That's not enabled yet. They haven't started doing that yet. And we could use balanced schedule format. So whether it's interleague play or not, which maybe we'll add eventually, we could do balanced schedule format. So you just play the East and the West kind of the same amount. You just play everyone in the NL, and then it's divided by East and West so that you have more of a playoff type situation. I guess in real life, it's like for travel, you don't have to travel as much or whatever. So I don't know. There's a line on how realistic you want to make it. Like if it was real life versus how ideal you want to make it, like in this game. So anyway, I'm gonna cross that bridge when it comes. But for now, I'm not changing anything. Once we come into the season in '93, we'll have it figured out. We're gonna have wild cards. We just don't know if it'll be one from the East, one from the West. I'm really leaning toward, like I said, though, just having the entire NL. And maybe you still play each other in a weighted, that could be a good compromise. You play each other without the balanced format, so you're going to play more teams in your division. And then also you just get one wild card team out of each division. So, you're fighting for that wild card spot. Then you kind of have like, obviously the division winners, but then you have like hopefully several teams that are still competitive trying to fight for that second spot. Some teams are going to tank, but I don't in this game. I don't know if tanking is really a thing. I mean, they do rebuild. So like Phillies, I'm sure they're probably in rebuilding mode. It's loading here. Let's check it out. Front office, maybe. Well, neutral. I guess they're neutral. Interesting. They do have the 12th best payroll right now in the game. But who was it? Red Sox. They traded away Roger Clemens and some other players. So I'm assuming they're rebuilding. Where are we at here? Neutral, I guess, too. So maybe things have changed in the offseason. This was earlier in the 1992 season where all this stuff was happening. We're certainly at a rebuild mode as the Rockies. Again, unless somehow this changed. Yeah, there's rebuilding. So let's jump into the Rockies here. We got small market, average loyalty. We don't even have any players yet, so that's hard to say. But fan interest is 100% since we're an expansion team. So I just hired a manager, CJ Davison. He was the Oakland Athletics bench coach. They weren't good, but I really like him. He develops guys. He's great at teaching stuff, and he's good at handling aging. So I think those are all good things, right, for a manager. I don't really, not too concerned with like, I mean, I'm glad he's not doing small ball. He's conventional. That maybe is a little more small ball type, but I say that because we're in Colorado. I want balls in play. I want I want guys swinging away for the most part and a lot of balls in play. But I think I can handle a lot of that strategy. See, he's green on all these, stealing and all that kind of stuff. So that means I can control it. If it's yellow, I have a little bit of control. If it's red, like hiring the bench coach, then he's got it. But I hired the bench coach first. So we got our bench coach on staff, who I really like, JJ Sturkey. He was the Philadelphia Phillies first base coach. Here's why I really like him: legendary at teaching catching defense, excellent at all these other categories, good at handling development, good at handling aging. So, I mean, I like our manager and our bench coach. He's from Colorado too. So we got a native as our bench coach. Where's Davison from? Alabama. So we got our bench coach. He's teaching infield. He's teaching running. He's excellent at that. Then we got our first base coach, John Ramirez, outstanding at teaching outfield and catchers. And our third base coach, I kind of chose him more along the lines of in-game running. He's good. He was kind of the best available when I sort guys that were available and interested in the position. in-game running. I mean, that's kind of the, good, fine if he can teach other stuff, but I'll go with the best guys that can teach, and he's not that, so it's fine. He's excellent at teaching outfield defense, but we got outstanding in John Ramirez, the first base coach. So now the only thing that I guess I don't like that much is some of these guys struggle with each other. Like my manager is temperamental, and the bench coach struggles with temperamental. So does my first base coach and my trainer. I don't know how much that affects it, but they're all on staff, so I think it does. So right now, my staff cohesion is fine, but when we start losing, I say when because we are an expansion team. In 1993, back when the rules were, you only get the teams can protect like 15 players or whatever. So that's kind of a lot relative to like the NHL with the Knights or whatever when they won the Stanley Cup like the first or second year. I'm not a big NHL guy, but I think you should have to earn it and build your team. They were able to like choose some really good players. So the other teams did not were not required to protect like that many guys. They couldn't protect that many guys. So they got picked off. So anyway, we're sticking with kind of the traditional way that baseball has expanded. I like that, and it usually means your expansion teams are not going to be good right away, but everyone's excited about them, so they don't need to be. Like we got this fan interest, just like in real life. Everyone loved the Rockies. They were selling out all these years in a row, and then you get that ticket gate money, you get sales, and you get money then to sign free agents. So I like how that goes. That's how we're going to do it. Um, we haven't signed anyone yet. We've just built our staff. We're just moving into salary arbitration. Obviously, we don't have anybody for that, but we can keep an eye on the transactions and kind of just see. I mean, there's going to be a ton of guys that go to transactions. Looks like we had a couple trades here. We'll check that out. But I guess I'm not really going to waste a lot of time looking at the arbitration. We'll just see what free agents file because if we look at the rumors, I'll show you that in a minute. We'll see who currently has not been re-signed. So those guys are going to be free agents unless they sign within the next couple of days. But here's Florida signing Joe Bond, their manager. Not really impressed with this guy. I don't know what they're looking at. I mean, he's like fair at some of this stuff. He's inexperienced. I don't think he's had any history, so I don't know what his deal is. Maybe they like some of this stuff. He heavily favors prospects, heavily favors hitting, even more heavily favors speed, and even he's almost all the way on base percentage over average. So prospects and on base percent, that's kind of more of a modern type thing. Favor hitting. I don't know. I don't know if that's more modern per se. I guess favor offense kind of is, but I think teams are starting to see in real life the value of defense. Like now that they're tracking stats and stuff. While we remember, so we don't forget, let's go to our strategy here, and we're going to adjust some of this stuff. So stealing. I mean, once we get our team, we might change it a little bit, but the small ball stuff in Coors Field. Actually, it's Mile High right now, Mile High Stadium. But I'm not a big fan of it. I want balls in play. That's as far down as he'll let me go on the sack bunt. Squeeze, that's as far down as we can go. Bunt for hit, that's fine, I guess, if you can and you're getting on. But everything's going to be below the midline. Some of them quite a bit below. Pitch around. So, I've gone back and forth on this. Nobody ever likes walks, but I guess if you're at altitude and balls in play are more harmful, then perhaps a walk is not as terrible as if you're at a very pitcher friendly park where you go right at hitters. There's a good chance a ball in play is going to be an out. So now let's change this here. Okay, this will be for all times, all scores. I'm not going to get too micromanaging and changing the scores, but we are going to change it based on early and late in the game. So this will be all of them, and then I'll adjust it off of that. So pitch around, I guess I'm okay, a little above average. Intentional walk, let's keep there. Hold runners, I guess we'll keep there. Play infield in, not really. I want to get outs, that's as far down as he'll let me go. Corners in, go a little further. Guard lines, I don't know. We'll keep that neutral. Shifts, sure. Maybe even a little more. Outfield shifts, that's good. Shift depth, okay, that's as far as we can go. Hook starting pitchers. Um, I guess a little quicker at altitude, but well, like a lot of it's confidence too. I'm just gonna go right in the middle. Hook relievers, let's stay in the middle. Matchups, uh, stay in the middle. Batting matchups, yeah, this is all early in the game, so maybe when we get later in the game, we can prefer some of that. Pinch hit for pitchers, that kind of has to do with the how quickly hook them. Let's just go middle. Pinch hit for position, okay, fine. Pinch runners, I mean, not early in the game probably, right? So let's do that, and then we're gonna go timing. We're gonna go late, and we're gonna keep all this the same. Um, maybe we go a little more pitch around. We'll keep all the shifting and stuff the same. This will go a little different now. So I'd say quicker to hook guys later in the game. Um, Matchups, sure, we could prefer it a little more. Pinch hit for, well, I guess that's as far up as he'll let me go. Pinch hit for position players, I guess if we can afford it. I don't know if we'll have enough guys on the bench, but it's later in the game. And pinch runners, go a little higher. Now, we're going to copy it and then paste it in the ninth, and then we'll change just a few things all the way down here in the ninth. Quicker to hook the pitchers. That's as far as we can go. Relievers, we'll go a little more prefer these matchups. Pinch hit for pitchers, that's as far as we can go. And pinch runners, I guess we can go a little more up. So there we go. That's good with me right now. Um, let's check out a couple of these. Well, first we'll check out the trades in a minute. Let's go to offseason center. So here's guys that are going to be free agents unless they sign before the next couple of days. Greg Maddux, he finished like fifth in the Cy Young voting in the NL. Bobby Bonilla, he's on big money. Ron Gant, so some good outfielders. There's Clemens. So the Brewers traded for him, and he was a rental because now he's going to be a free agent unless they happen to re-sign him. Charlie LeBrant was the league's best ERA, 19 wins. I thought he was going to get Cy Young. He did not. He finished like second in voting. Let's go to that here. Here we go. Best pitcher named. I don't know if we can. Here we go. So Sid Fernandez got it with 70 stuff. He's got a lot of strikeouts. 30-year-old lefty. Mets had a pretty good year. They were, let's see if we can hover over them. They were 89 and 73, 2 games back in the East, missed the playoffs, but 24 wins this last year and a 2.31 ERA. So that was the Cy Young winner in the NL. Now, where did I see? I saw some of those transactions. I saw a couple trades. Can we look at off-season summary? Have think people moved around here already? Maybe the A's. Looks like it was the A's and, well, I don't know, maybe the Rangers or something. It looks like this is just guys that have retired. Charlie Haw retired. In real life, went to the Marlins as the oldest pitcher to start an opening day, I believe. So I'm not seeing any. Here we go. Here's the trade. So it was Oakland. It was Oakland and Minnesota. So Lance Blankenship, that's right. I think I saw this earlier in the year. Gene Larkin went to Oakland. He had a good year for Minnesota, and they got Lance Blankenship. Real good eye, pretty decent on base percentage, but early he hasn't had a lot of MLB experience. 28 years old. Larkin's 30, so that might have just been a positional need or something. But Twins won the division, 100 wins. So you can't. They're not rebuilding. I would definitely not assume. So let's sim out these arbitration hearings now. We're just gonna finish today, and I'm assuming now if we go to complete transaction log, we're gonna see. Oh, here's Hayes now as a free agent, huh? So they maybe didn't ask him back to arbitration. He was pretty decent for the Yankees, 15 homers, but only slugged 378. So not as good as maybe it seems. Rob Dibble, 80 stuff. Terrible control, though, 30. But he had a decent ERA for the Reds. So yeah, interesting to see what's going on here. I have 13 mil for free agents, but the player, I don't know if my owner will stop me because the player payroll is only 3.6. So can I go over that or not? I guess I'm just going to try. It says money for free agents here. I did offer a bunch of minor league guys, kind of sorted based on my scouts ratings. Going for high stuff. Hopefully we can teach these guys control. Like here's a good example, Ty Hill. Looks like he didn't pitch in 92. So I did modify the minors. We only have 3 minor league teams per organization. So a triple A, double A, and a single A. You got 35 guys on the single A and then 28 on the other two. Just a little easier to manage. In real life, it's awesome. It's good for all those guys getting opportunities, especially now that they're getting paid more. But in real life, it's like really hard to manage all that. I mean, you could do it. I just don't want to spend that much time on it. So we're gonna have a triple A, double A, single A. We did that for last year and simmed through it. And so a lot of minor league guys were released in this game. But that's one example here was this pitcher for us. And so he's got high stuff. Again, I like that here at Coors Field or at Mile High at altitude because it means not as many balls in play. It's kind of my basic philosophy. And on base percentage, having a good eye in real life, drawing your walks, that was Moneyball. That's important now in real life. Maybe I'm not going to value that quite as much. I'm maybe more high contact guys. Like Charlie Hayes, he's pretty good contact, and he's not a great eye. So that might be a real good gap power. Like that could be a good guy for me to try to get. Obviously, he was a Rocky in real life. In real life, got drafted in the expansion draft to the Rockies, and that's when he took off. 876 OPS wasn't even close to that beforehand. Now, granted, he was young still, only had like a couple full years under his belt. But yeah, then that he took off with the Rockies. His OPS plus, that's park adjusted, was still very good, 45% above average. And then in 94, still pretty good. And then he left the Rockies, and he never had as good of years as with the Rockies. So yeah, you know what? He's a free agent right now. I think I'm going to put in a bid on him. 675 mil. Now I guess it is low accuracy on him, according to my head scout. Well, that's OSA ratings. Here's my head scout. 50 contact, so I don't know, but I like his home run power and his gap power. Good base runner, pretty good defensively. He's above average everywhere. We're gonna offer him. I don't know how much higher I'll go than this, 650, but here we go. It looks like I've got that 13 million to work with. So we're gonna try to use it all. I don't know. Maybe we can be good in the first year. Now I do have. I'll come back to Hayes here. I do have I can be fired, and I do also have owner goals enabled. So I have to listen to my owner like to an extent. So here he is. He's telling me these are the things I got to get done, and if you don't and he's not happy, you might get fired. But obviously, I'm trying to win a champ. I mean, I'm sure he'd be thrilled with winning a championship. He wants me to build the team up to reach the playoffs. But I want to see how quickly we can do it. So that is important. We're on the same page, building the farm. Let's get a top 6 farm team. Yeah, that's going to be real important. We're a small market team. Find a top 14 prospect. Yeah, and don't suck completely. So I do agree with all these. There's nothing that's in conflict. Now, this concerns me a little bit. He's a penny pincher, apparently. At least he's patient. He's meddling involvement, so maybe that means the goals are going to get kind of ridiculous. I don't know. But his priority is winning. So he's a bit of a micromanager, it looks like. He's a micromanager and he's very frugal, but he's patient. He understands he wants to win. So I think we get along so far. I'm good with that. Anyway, let's go back to Charlie Hayes. Let's offer him. So he's looking for a 2-year deal. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. I don't think I want like a team option or anything. Maybe I can. He's a free agent. I don't think he's been signed. Maybe we can go a little bit less. Try to work on that penny pinching. And a 2-year deal. So, he'd be 29. I wouldn't mind a 3-year deal. But let's go two. We'll stay with two. Let's ask him. He said it's reasonable. Perfect. Usually they do if you go a little bit less than they're asking. So that's our first free agent offer. Maybe Dibble too. He's got high stuff. That's kind of the type of guy I'm looking for. What's he asking for? And it might be wise also to let these guys hit the market. Maybe they might go down because there's going to be a lot of other relievers and stuff here. But Dibble 31 saves and 91 with the Reds in a very good ERA. In 1990, even a ridiculous ERA, 174. He's been an All-Star 3 years in a row. He was an All-Star last year in this game. Limited in terms of intelligence, but whatever. Just go out and throw. That's funny. That's kind of how he is in real life. I've heard him commentating, and he's like, I'm sure I know the personalities are not synced up to how the guys are in real life. They're just kind of random. But it's funny because in real life, I remember him like announcing, and he's like, if that guy does that to me, I'm putting it in his ear hole. He just seems like kind of a musclehead, but maybe he was. I mean, he threw hard. He's 28 here in this game, so let's offer him. I'm good with that. I don't know about 3 years till he's 31. Let's try to go two, just like we are with Hayes, and let's try to back some of this down a little, and then we'll see. When other free agents hit the market, we'll see if he wants more money or whatever. But we're still got 12 million, and we got the expansion draft. So this is all money just for free agents. So we could, I don't know, maybe we could be real good. Maybe my owner won't like it because I'll be over what he wants for the player payroll. But whatever, if we're winning, screw it. I don't think he'll fire me first year for it. And maybe we don't even go over that 3.6. I don't know. I mean, he's letting me do it. So until they say, no, we're not going to approve the offer. But I guess maybe my concern is maybe I'm in the hole if I do that, and then I can't sign guys for the future. But if we get good players now, then, we get momentum. We start winning. So let's try it. I think I'm going to not be ridiculous per se and like use it all, but I might go over that player payroll. Okay. So we finished arbitration. Free agents file tomorrow. Let's finish the day. And here we are. Free agents have filed. Looks like we got all these minor league guys now that we offered. So that's great. I think they'll probably all be in my single A. I'm going to try to move them there anyway if they're not. Let's come back to the free agents. Let's check that out first. Some of them are in double A, some are in single A. So I wonder if it's because, so what I did for single A, I have it such that you only can have 4 years of experience, and then you have to move up. So it kind of like keeps them moving along. And so these guys might not qualify for that. Let's see if it lets me. Yeah, it does not. So I don't know if any of them. I got to click OK on them all. There we go. Yeah, none of them did. So it's doing it how I'd want it. Put them all in single A. And the guys that couldn't, it put in double A. So I'm good with that. And then we'll draft, and we'll do the rookie draft and the expansion draft. We can fill the rest of our minors, and then maybe even sign more guys. So in the rookie draft, what do I have right now? 12 rounds or something. And you know what? I was thinking I might bump that up because of the expansion teams, the Marlins and the Rockies. Let's do 20, and then we'll change that back to 12 later. But what I'm going to do for that, because I've noticed in this game, it seems like you can kind of like cheat the system a little by getting like good rookies in the amateur draft that other teams like kind of pass up now and then. Is I'm gonna delegate it. So as much as I don't like doing that, it'd be fun to draft the rookies. I've done it before, and it seems like you can kind of game the system a little bit. So I'm saying that it's gonna be up to my assistant GM to draft players, and so I did kind of hire him based on that. That was one of the considerations. So here he is, good, I guess, favored prospects. So I'm hoping He gets it. He favors offense a little more. I was looking for maybe favor on base percentage, but again, talking about that eye versus contact, that might be what this is. So even though I like on base percentage as a metric more because it makes more sense, maybe he's going to get guys that are higher contact, like in the draft, and then favor pitching a little bit. I mean, I would have that way. If I had that ideal, I'd have way favor pitching. Favor prospects is fine. I mean, he's doing the draft anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Way favor pitching, probably slightly favor defense for us as the Rockies. That's so important. A lot of balls in play. Favor power because we're not going to be small ball, and then favor average about where it's at. So we got a few of those things at least with him, and he's going to do the draft for me. So let's go back. Let's go back to the free agents file, and here's some of the top guys. David Cone. Okay, he's a 70 stuff pitcher. Maybe I can go after him. He only won 7 games. He was 7-18 with the Mets. Wow, with a 3.93 ERA. So he was he an All-Star last year? He was. What was his ERA plus? It wasn't. It was below average. It wasn't good. Even though he led the league in Ks per 9, he's done that the last 3 years. So kind of strange there. He might be overrated a little bit because I'm sure he's going to ask for big money, and he had a decent ERA. But I guess at the Mets stadium, it's a very pitcher friendly because a 3.93 was below average, league adjusted as well. National League is definitely better pitching with no DH. He is extremely and very popular locally and nationally. That helps with your fan interest, but mine's already really high, so I don't have to worry about that. Fan loyalty, that's more like, are you getting rid of guys and turning your team over a lot, or do you keep a lot of the same guys? So I'm not right now very concerned. I'm at as high of interest as you can be for fan interest. So I'm not concerned, as you can see here, I'm not concerned with getting guys that are very popular. So I'm more about like, let's just try to get the best guys we can. So again, if I went after one of these pitchers, which I might, we're already over what my owner's budgeting for the payroll. But this could be a wise thing to do, like try to get Maddox for a long-term deal. I wonder how he would do, and I feel like in real life he would do an excellent job because he was so cerebral, so smart. He'd do an excellent job like pitching for a team like the Rockies. But in this game, it says he's apathetic here. So I don't like that if I'm giving a guy big money. He is an extreme ground baller. That's probably a good thing, being at Mile High. But he wants, 4.8. I mean, he's the top pitcher free agent on the market. Here's Clemens. Let's scope him out a little bit. High stuff. I like that. Obviously, Maddox was more movement, but still pretty good stuff. 60. Clemens 65. Here's Charlie. He's definitely more of a finesse pitcher, control and movement. So I mean, maybe that would work. It definitely could, but I don't know if that's what I want to go for. I'm kind of thinking like high stuff type guys. So here's Cone. He only wants 3.6. That's my entire player payroll. And you know what? I mean, that's going to be higher anyway, I suppose, with the expansion draft. So I guess I might as well just because once you take those guys' contracts on the expansion draft, that's part of your payroll. So maybe I might as well just use all this money to try to sign guys. I'm not going to hold back. Let's just put it that way. So I like Cone. Let's see what he's looking at. Oh, he's not interested. Okay, that might be a barrier as an expansion team in Colorado. Well, what about the Rocket? Let's see what his deal is. He wants a 7-year deal. He's 30. I don't think I like that. I don't like long-term deals for starting pitchers at altitude because if they just tank due to, getting hit a lot and losing confidence and not developing, then you're stuck with them. Kevin Brown, a lot of movement, not a finesse type, but ground baller, and his stuff is average, but could be a little above average. I mean, I like him. What's he want? He wants 6 years. He's only 27 though, so that's not bad. I don't mind him. He was just an all-star this last year. Movement, that means you're that means you're not giving up a lot of extra base hits. So it's balls in play, yes, which I guess I don't like, but stuff is related to that too. If you're striking more guys out, it's less balls in play, obviously. But it is balls in play, but hopefully it's just singles. I mean, we'll take singles at Coors Field and Mile High. Looks like he's a bit of a clown. That's fine. Maddox was a clown in real life. Let's offer him. I think we're gonna do it here. I mean, again, we got 9.9. Ooh, this would result in the loss of a draft pick. He's a Type A free agent. Um, so maybe we should reconsider. I mean, we're trying to draft and develop, but it is Kevin Brown. If we start getting bid higher, then we'll probably back out. He wants a player option in his final year, in his 6th year. 2.2, we go all the way up to 3.6. There is going to be inflation in this game. He wants to be promised to be a starter. That's fine. I mean, I'm not going to move him to the pen. Now, again, 6-year deal, though. Let's go 4. Let's go 4 years. I'm good with this. Let's see if he is. Okay, he's good with that. So 4-year, that's meeting in the middle. Maybe 3 would be ideal, but I'll give him 4. He wanted 6. I don't know if I'd get away with 3. Here's some of the other. Now, I got it sorted by demand right now, so maybe that's a bit of a mistake. Um, Here we go. There's impossible signability by David Cohn. So don't even have to acknowledge those guys. What's Kevin Brown? He's hard. Okay. So I do have it sorted by demand. Here's Gary Redus. He was a big time power hitter. Well, 19 home runs, but he was our cleanup hitter. He's 36. Not a guy I really want to go after here. There's McGuire. A lot of power. Really good eye, of course. Could do well. Obviously, we could hit a lot of home runs up here at altitude. Not a real high contact guy, though. He's a first baseman. I feel like you can get a lot of powerful hitting first baseman. Winfield's 41. Not a guy. Here's Dwayne Ward. Ooh, he was reliever of the year. Reliever of the year this last year. High stuff, high movement. Expects little, gives a lot. Wow. You couldn't say more about this guy. I'm definitely going to try to get him. He wants 2.6. Is that what it said back here? Yeah, it is. So, I mean, that's kind of a lot, but hey, again, we got the money to spend. I guess I just don't want to go way over because that might put us in the hole for the future. But he wants 2.6 straight through 5 years. Can we go 3? Because that's big money, even though it's not a starting pitcher. It's big money for a relief pitcher. This would also be a loss of a draft pick, but yeah, again, I think I'm gonna just go on the lower end because he is a reliever, so I know he's really good, but man, that's a lot of money for a reliever. We're gonna go like 1.8, 2, and then 2.1. 3 years. Maybe even give him a player option. That could help get him here. Give him a player option in the final year. Let's try it. See what he says. Okay, he did say he'll meet in the middle at 2 million. He wants 4 years. Can we make 2 million is not bad for a guy like this. And when I say that, let's make sure. Let's go to transactions. Let's go to players, MLB player list, and let's view financial info and contract value. Oh, let's go not contract value, salary for a reliever, all relievers. Okay, so it's competitive. He would not be on the highest salary, and he probably deserved it. He was just reliever of the year. Now, granted, these guys are going to arbitration or in like the final year of their contract, but they're probably going to go up. They're going to ask for more. So I think 2 million's not a bad deal for Dwayne Ward. So let's try a team option in year 4. They always want at least 10% of a buyout. Let's do like 230. And He does want to be promised closer, I suppose. I mean, I don't see him not being the closer. Let's try it. Okay, he likes it. Let's submit it. So we're really going after some pitchers here, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like that's where we'll spend our money, but I don't like going long-term deals with them. And then we can draft expansion hitters. Like we're going to be able to hit. We're we're the Rockies. We're at Mile High. We're going to be able to hit. Now let's do one more thing. Let's go to let's filter by stuff. So right now I was looking at minor league guys. I had demand is 0 like minor league contract. Let's just sort by only I'll add a new one here so I can always come back to that. And we'll get rid of this one. We're going to sort by stuff. So pitching, ratings, stuff potential even. I'm okay with that. Where is it? Stuff potential. Say is at least like 65. Let's see who we got here. Clemens, of course. Here's some. I'm trying to look for some guys that might be good deals. Here's some minor league guys. Of course, terrible control. He had a 8 ERA in 91. Robbie Beckett. Armando Benitez ended up being a good closer in real life. Let's offer him. I thought I maybe did, but maybe not. So he's fine with just a minor league deal. Let's offer him a minor league contract. I think he'd be a good prospect for us. So this is all of them. I mean, shoot, we might as well just offer all these guys. Let's do it. Beckett, even though he didn't have a good ERA, whatever. Maybe he can develop. He's only 20 years old. Put him in single A. And then now here's guys that are. We already went after Dibble. Here's Brian Harvey. He did have a 4.85 ERA, and he's wanting 7. I mean, he wants more than Dibble. I don't think he's worth that. And then all these guys are $2 million. What about Mike Witt? He's 32 years old, 3.05 ERA. I mean, I like that. Now it's low accuracy on that 65 stuff. Was he an All-Star last year? No, back in the 80s. What's he want? He wants just a 1-year deal, and actually, he wants a minor league contract with a major league option. Maybe we can lower it a little bit even. Let's go to like 380, maybe 370. So that's if he gets promoted, and then he'll get a bonus if he comes up too. I mean, that's a good deal for everyone. Hey, if you come up, you get paid. If you stay down, you don't. Okay, let's submit that to him. Mike Witt, put him in AAA right away. And if we need him, we bring him up. We'll pay him. Okay, so I like where we're at here. We maybe let's browse the batters, I guess. I mean, again, we don't have that much money left, especially once we start doing the expansion draft. And I'll be privy of contracts when we get to that point. But let's go back to free agents. Let's go to let's get rid of that filter. And let's just look at all batters. So we're still sorted by demand, which is actually fine because I'm really ruling a lot of these high salary guys out. Basically, like we can develop hitters. I mean, they just by that. What I mean is you hear Coors Field product, right? Like you go to a park that's a hitter friendly park, and even though your numbers might be inflated, I believe it makes you a better hitter overall too, because you just got better numbers and you're hitting better. Like you're in a routine, you're in a rhythm. Now the Rockies of modern day, 2023, and throughout the 2020s and maybe even a little before that, they were okay a few of those years, but the 2020s they've been terrible, and their offense has been terrible on the road. But in the past, when they were slugging teams, they were still good offensively on the road. Obviously, they were way better at home. But again, like, how do you explain that? If you're not a good hitter or you're average or whatever, you'd think you'd still be average on the road, but they still would be like better on the road. So Charlie Hayes, great example in this game, right? We looked at his real life stats. So anyway, I'm not going to really go after now. Not that I wouldn't ever do it, but right now I'm not going to go after a high contract type guy. Now let's do this. Let's sort. Let's go back to that filter, and let's sort by contact. So I'm fine even with contact potential. Here it is. Let's say is at least 60. How about 65? Let's try that first. 65. Here we go. Not a lot of guys. Puckett, of course. These guys are all around 30. There's Tony Gwynn, 80 contact. Don Mattingly wants 1.5. Here's Jim Eisenreich. He's not under a mil. He is 33. Now, looks like he doesn't make errors. Now, I do like defense and range, especially, and altitude. He's not bad in left. We might offer him. How's Hal Morris? He's a first baseman. He's decent there, but not great. Works his tail off. Thinking man's ball player. Wow. Popular in the clubhouse. I like that. What was he? Gold Glover. Gold Glover. He's 27 years old. Let's see what kind of deal he's looking for. 4-year deal, 1.2, 1.3 mil. What's Eisenreich? I mean, he's 33. He's just an average Joe. He just wants a 1-year deal. I think that's a good. I like that 1-year deal. And that way, if we're in the hole financially, I just don't ask him back. He is a type B. I mean, I think we're gonna lose if we get all these guys, but I'm fine with us getting these guys. We're gonna lose some draft picks, but fine, I guess, right? We can always try to trade for guys and stuff. I guess. Yeah, I mean that's just part of the deal if you're signing good players. But let's offer them less. We're gonna offer them less. I don't know if I want to promise. I guess a 1-year deal. We could promise him the starting lineup. That's fine. Let's see what he thinks of this. Okay, he's all right with that. And then we might also try Hal Morris. But I really like his personality. I'm gonna go like 2 years. See if he does it. I'll give him that money. What is this? Apply long-term demand. I don't know what that is. I'm afraid to click it. I guess if I don't submit the offer, what's that say? That didn't do anything. Long-term demand. Is that kind of like a meat demand? Huh. Well, anyway, he's looking for a 4-year deal. I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised he was a Gold Glover because his defense didn't look that good. But he's got good contact. I mean, he fits into what we're looking for. How about a 3-year with a team option? Buyout will be like 130. And maybe we can even move this down a little bit. Okay, let's try it. Let's see what he says. He says okay. All right. Perfect. So I think we're good now for free agents. We have 5.4 million available cash. I'm assuming we're going to go up to that in the expansion draft. But now we're just going to sim to the next thing, Hall of Fame voting. It'll probably stop along the way to let us know what happened, but that's a couple weeks away. When I say what happened, like it'll say so and so likes your offer or so and so signed. We got nothing yet, so let's just look at the news. Let's see. It looks like we have some trades. I like doing it this way actually. Here's news. Here's league transactions. So we have some trades here. Edgardo Alfonso, Matt Williams, good third baseman, and Alfonso from San Francisco, a prospect, 19-year-old, was good in Double A and Single A. So San Francisco, who's not good in this game, so they're probably rebuilding. They got rid of Alfonso, kind of interesting. They did get Donovan Osborne, a young pitcher. So yeah, good. I thought that's a good trade for everybody there. Wagner, Diaz, I don't really recognize these guys. Terry Mulholland, trade from Philadelphia, goes to Milwaukee. So they lost Clemens, but they got Mulholland. Yeah, he looked like he was pretty good. 3.39 ERA with the Phillies. Only won 9 games and lost 19, but that's obviously because maybe the offense wasn't great. Fleming trade from St. Louis. So St. Louis making a lot of deals here. And Lee Smith, 42 saves last year, going to San Diego. Who'd they get? Is this prospects? Gonzalez, 23 years old, prospect. Lopez, a prospect. Wow. So maybe St. Louis might be trying to get rid of some guys here. Fleming, yeah, Fleming was good. 2.94 ERA, 100 innings pitched. So they're kind of playing for the future. Here's Telemaco, trade from the Yankees, and Steve Farr. A couple prospects here. So Yankees maybe unloading some guys. Is that Chili Davis? Looks like it is. Chili Davis, trade from Minnesota. Phil Clark. Mike Lansing, a prospect, 24 years old. Michael Jackson going to Atlanta from San Fran. So they're unloading guys. San Fran is unloading guys. Atlanta gave away Klesko. Oh, and then they got Jackson. So Klesko goes to San Francisco. He's 21 years old. Yeah, actually, he's a 12th ranked prospect in the game right now. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if I can. Can I do this? I'm gonna try to pause it. Can I pause this real quick? I don't know if I can. Maybe we'll keep it rolling. I gotta do something, but I think it can wait. It's all right. We're gonna keep it rolling. I don't know if I can screw this up. Stop streaming. I think that would make it go to the next one. So we might just not do the expansion draft yet. Here, I'll do that on another video. But let's keep checking this stuff out. So let's see. Where were we at here? Donovan Osborne going to San Fran. Here's some more trades. Yeah, Mulholland going to Milwaukee from Philadelphia. We saw that, didn't we? Yeah, we're back up at the top here since we clicked around. Here we go. So Klesko going to the Giants. Kevin Stalker, prospect, going to Pittsburgh. Mariano Duncan, 29, not a prospect. Yeah, Pittsburgh obviously just won it all. They got rid of Womack, gave him to Philadelphia. He's a prospect. So got Mariano Duncan out of it, basically trying to get a second baseman. Ken Caminiti, Paul Sorrento, Javi Lopez. He's a top prospect here, number 15 prospect, high contact guy. I like him. We got to scroll back down here. Javi Lopez going to San Francisco. So they got Lopez and Klesko from Atlanta. And Atlanta getting Will Clark from San Fran. So San Fran really loading guys off, trying to get prospects. Atlanta giving up Damon Berryhill, 29 years old. Yankees giving up John Habian. So they're kind of unloading players as well. There's Pat Mahomes, Mark Langston, Gary Bennett. Mark Langston was pretty good, 15-game winner with Cal. Now he's on the Cubs. So a lot of trades here. Alfonso, wasn't he? Yeah, did he get moved around again? Yeah, so he went from New York to San Francisco, and then they traded him to St. Louis. So he's bounced around already a couple times this offseason. Jason Schmidt getting traded from Atlanta to Houston. He got rocked in single A, an 8.11 ERA. What are we on the 27th here if we click on him? But he's still the number 42nd ranked prospect currently. That doesn't mean he'll still be there. We were on the 22nd? Oh, 27th maybe, was it? Yeah, we've got a lot of trades here. 27th, there we go. Mark Portugal going to Atlanta. Interesting there. He's 30 years old. So they gave up a prospect. They got Mark Portugal from Houston. Roel Mondesi. You know what an easier way to do this actually would be? Let's go to transactions, player trade, or is it transactions here? Trade log, because then you can see like the more info, like if a guy is a prospect or not. So I think this is all sorted just like it was. So we can go all the way down here. Where were we at? Like the 27th or so. Here we go. So there's Schmidt. Was he a top prospect? Number 42. Yep, we saw that. So here's Mondesi and Henneman. Mike Henneman, real good, 250 ERA. Went to the White Sox from Detroit, and Mondesi, the number 44th ranked prospect. Detroit getting Wilson Alvarez, good pitcher, and Mike Robertson, a prospect, hit really well in single A. Looks like some other trades here. Jeff Montgomery going to Texas. He's 30 years old. They gave up Darren Oliver, number 83 ranked prospect. Kansas City getting Oliver. So you can kind of see some of the teams that are looking to rebuild. Maybe Kansas City, definitely San Francisco, maybe even the Yankees a little bit here. Here's Chuck Finley being involved in a trade. Detroit getting him. 21 losses last year with California, but they give up a prospect, so the Angels better rebuild in two prospects. Bobby Higginson, top prospect in that trade. Barry Larkin going to Texas. Wow. Barry Larkin, one of the game's better shortstops right now, 80 contact. And giving up Rich Aurelia. So Aurelia goes to the Reds. So he's a number 48 ranked prospect. In real life, I believe, came up with the Giants. I don't know, maybe he was on Texas before that, or he just got to that point in this game. But yeah, Rich Aurelia going to Cincinnati, giving up Barry Larkin. Randy Velarde going to Montreal. So they had a good year last year. They're trying to bump it up. They give up Rondell White, number 22nd ranked prospect, and Royce Clayton, who now I guess is on the Yankees, it says. So he got moved around as well. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, there it is. Yankees. I wasn't even looking at that. So Velarde goes from the Yankees. That's what I missed. To Montreal. And then Yankees getting Rondell White, getting Royce Clayton. So it's a good deal for the Yankees. You know, Clayton, I mean, I don't know. He was decent in real life, but Rondell White, number 22 ranked prospect. You're giving up Velarde, who's 29, and he was good, but they're rebuilding. What do we got here? Ellis Burks going to Minnesota for Boston's Hidalgo. Hidalgo, number 39 ranked prospect. So Burks, pretty solid player. He was with the Rockies in real life. He's on 1.7 mil, 28 years old. So Minnesota getting him. Minnesota just making the playoffs, trying to stay up there, giving up a prospect to bolster their outfield. So what else we got? Are we already? Yeah, we're back to October now. So yeah, this is the trade that we started the game with. So that's all we've got here so far. Looks like we're at Hall of Fame voting. What other news do we have? Let's go to manager's office. I mean, just the trades here, basically, I think. Looks like it's all trades. Here's a single season record. What is that? Highest FIP. Bunch of guys from the 1900s. Some real good names there, of course, though. And then, yeah, we just got just a bunch of trades here. Haven't seen any big names, big signing names yet. So we're still in that period. The guys are all feeling it out. So let's go to winter meeting start. That's tomorrow, I guess. We received a personal message. Charlie Hayes. He said, "Thank you for the wonderful laugh." So he wants a lot more money, apparently. Is he mad because of that? Let's check him out. Offer contract. He's still okay. He just wants a 1-year deal. What was my last offer? Proof it was a 2-year deal, averaging 655. He wants 660. Okay. Well, that's not really a wonderful laugh, but let's give him. Can we get him for 2 years? Get him for 2 years. I mean, that's not a bad deal. 660 for Hayes. I'm good doing that. Let's offer it. Let's do it. 660. Still have plenty of money left for free agents if signed. Let's see what he says here. Oh, now he's not interested. I guess he just really wanted a 1-year deal, and we offended him by giving it 2. We should have just stayed with what he was asking. But it's not like he's a gotta-have guy, I mean, his contact is average. I mean, I like him. I would have taken him. But that's fine. Let's see. These other guys look like they're okay. They say they're impressed. There's Kevin Brown. There's Dibble impressed. Man, imagine if we got those guys. Here's Jim Eisenreich. What's he say? Contract or tricky. Colorado's at the top. Good. I think it only has the explanation mark if they want more money. So yeah. Here's another trade. Montreal getting Greg Colbrun. I'm sorry, sending Greg Colbrun. That makes sense. He's 23 years old. He's basically a prospect. He is a prospect. He had 17 at bats with the Expos. And Yankees giving up Melindo Perez. Wow. 20-game loser with a 3.87 ERA in the AL. So Yankees are really, I'm curious what their what's it say here? Does it say rebuilding? It says neutral. They don't they have, I guess, a decent bit of money available, but their payroll is 25th, so it's not like the real Yankees. Although around that time, like before the mid 90s, late 80s, and they weren't that high roller. Like, I mean, maybe they were trying, but they just weren't at that level. They weren't winning a bunch. Um, Above average market size. So yeah, that's interesting to see. But it looks like they're kind of rebuilding. New York sending Magli Ordonez, 18 years old, going to the Cubs, getting Mark Grace. So the Mets getting Mark Grace. He's a high contact hitter. I like him. Um, what do we got here? Detroit 2008 and 1890. Oh, what is this? Baseball at bats. Like that's single season record. This looks like some kind of glitch. Yeah, this I don't know. I don't know what this is. Who holds a single? I don't know what that is. Who are these guys? Do they go? These are like guys in the game right now. Who holds a single season record for Major League Baseball at bats? This is some kind of glitch. That's weird. These are all minor league guys. Okay, let's move on here. I think that's it as far as messages. Yeah, winter meetings begin. That's if we're trying to trade guys. We don't even have guys to trade yet. We're not going to mess around with that. Um, do we sign those? We may have signed some more. It looks like we did. Did we get Benitez? We did. Awesome. He is Rule 5 eligible, though. So I don't know if we'll want to protect him. Looks like, are all these guys, is that maybe why they're not valued? Yeah, interesting. I don't think he's protectable worthy. I mean, didn't pitch last year, and in 91, he was in rookie ball. So if a team takes him, fine. Looks like they're putting some of these guys in AAA. Mike Witt, that makes sense because yeah, we got him. That's good. But Ruffin and Kaufman, yeah, AAA is good. These guys were in the majors last year, or at least Ruffin was. Kaufman was in AAA. High ERAs, but that's fine. And I don't know, like, was the place they were at? Let's look at pitching stats. 88. I was wondering if it was a hitter friendly park. So that's not very good. But again, maybe we can develop them. We got our pitching coach here in AAA. He's good at mechanics, decent at development, excellent at teaching pitching. So I like him. It's hard to get guys that are like outstanding for your minors. Okay, let's keep rolling here. Let's go to winter meetings end. I'm not looking to make any trades. Okay, a reminder. So I do have some of these reminders. What was that going to be? Let me check it out. Manager office notes. It's usually like game stuff. Import real minors, then unclick after. Is that the note that it's reminding me of here? I have that remind me of 3. No, it's note 2 here. It's note 2. So uncheck automatically expand league. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to. I think it's not going to screw it up now since we've already expanded the Rockies. But I was going to get rid of that because I don't know if I want to do the Diamondbacks and Devil Rays in 97 or 98, whatever it was. I think it was 98. And then we might just do it down the road. We'll kind of see how it goes. But with the leagues, with the divisions moving around, how I'm doing it different. I don't want this to override it and like move them to how it kind of was. I think league strategy, that's okay keeping. So there we go. I think that'll be fine. You know what, though? Let's save it right now just to be safe. Then if it does screw up, I can always come back and do it. So give it a second here. I wish I knew if there was a way to like pause the streaming while this stuff loads, but I don't think there is. I don't know. Maybe I'll mess with it at one point and at the expense of screwing it up. But for now, we're just gonna go. We'll go up to the first year player draft because I'm not doing that. My assistant GM is, and then the expansion draft is soon after that. We won't get into that because that's gonna take longer. I'll do that later, either later today or at another time or whatever, and we'll get that streamed. But right now, let's see. We got some more deals. Alex Fernandez, big pitcher, going to Toronto. So he moved. He got traded during the season from the White Sox to the Dodgers, and now he's on Toronto. So Toronto was good last year, won the division, of course, um, and they're picking up Fernandez. Who'd they give up here? They got Sosha. They gave up Pat Henkin. So a young relief or a young starting pitcher, number 43 ranked prospect. Seems like a fair trade. Giants. So Javi Lopez moving again here, going to the White Sox. So Giants give him up and give up Willie McGee. Makes sense. He's 34 years old. So they gave up McGee and Javi Lopez. I would hope they get someone good in return. They got They got a pitcher, Jason Bear, 29th ranked prospect. Seems like a good deal. Yep. They're going for pitching. Had to give up Javi, though, who's a 15th ranked prospect as a catcher. So Javi and, McGee, who's 34. And maybe that was more of a salary dump, like he wasn't great last year. He's on 2.2, but he signed one more year. He's got one more year left. And then George Brett moving along at 39 years old, going to Boston from Kansas City, getting some Boston picking up some prospects. Frank Rodriguez and Hippolito Picardo, I believe is how you say it. Looks like Darryl Strawberry moving to Detroit, picking up some prospects. So, yeah, some interesting moves here going on. Moves that make sense. Still haven't heard anything about the latest in negotiations. We got 5 more days till the rookie draft. What do we got? Yankees owner investing in more land or something here? Yeah. Okay. I wonder what that means. Maybe they're looking to maybe their market size increased. Yeah, now it's big. It was above average, so they're getting a little more market size. Looks like some more trades. We got Jason Giambi prospect going to Montreal. Montreal giving up Gabe White, going to Oakland, who's basically a prospect or is a prospect. Yeah, never came out of the minors yet. And Gary Heimel, also a prospect. So, and then Montreal also gets Jim Corsi, 31-year-old relief pitcher. So Corsi and Giambi. Is Giambi a top? He's an 18th best prospect. Wow. And what's Gabe White? He's not ranked. Gary Heimel, not ranked. Wow, am I seeing that right? So Heimel on Oakland, White on Oakland, and Montreal gets Corsi and Jason Giambi. Was it like taking Corsi? Is that why? He's not on big money? Montreal got a heck of a deal there. You do see that once in a while in this game, but you see that once in a while in real life. Like, what were they thinking? So anyway, definitely Montreal coming out on the high end there. Andy Pettitte moving along. He's on Boston now, and the Yankees sending Matt Noakes as well. So wasn't a great catcher for him. Sending Andy Pettitte and Noakes. Pettitte's a pretty good prospect, and they get Luis Ortiz, a prospect. Is that it? I think he might have. No, I was gonna say I thought he was a top 100 at one point, but he's not, and he wasn't. So yeah, another kind of weird deal. Pettitte's number 49 ranked prospect. However, he doesn't look great here, so it could be way overrated. When the next one comes out, he might be quite a bit lower. Looks like some more trades here. Mike Piazza going to Atlanta. He was with the Mets in this game. He was with the Dodgers, of course, and then he got traded to the Mets, and he's been up. He's sniffed the bigs, and now he's with Atlanta. So Atlanta making a lot of moves. They're looking good. They gave up Mike Lansing. He goes to the Mets, and Todd Worrell goes to the Mets. Good relief pitcher. Yeah, interesting moves here. There's another trade. Jason Kendall, top, one of the top, I believe, prospects. Yep, number 66, but maybe a little overrated. He's going to San Fran. San Fran really making a lot of moves, getting a lot of good prospects, sending, and they got Rick White, a pitcher, sending Robbie Thompson, good second baseman. So they look like they're in full blown rebuild mode. Let's see if it says that. Are they admitting it? They're not. It says neutral. They've got a lot of money available, 14 million for extensions. And their player payroll now is low, 21st. So yeah, they're planning on Klesko being up. As of now, it looks like they're bringing him up. They got pretty decent pitching. I mean, I guess 12th isn't good, but John Burkett, Donovan Osborne, although he was with St. Louis last year, Burkett was with San Francisco. All right. Well, we are now at the expansion draft. So here's some of the top players: Mark Loretta out of college, Jermaine Dye out of high school, Spezio Roland. I'm interested in seeing who we get. We're gonna let our guy handle it. So let's roll right into it. We got 20 rounds. We will, and then I'll negotiate with them, but we're gonna start the draft here, and we're just gonna auto draft for teams. So California going first. Who'd they get? Mark Loretta, Kansas City, Bill Mueller, San Fran getting rolling. Yeah, he's gonna be there. San Fran's looking good for the future. Here is Philadelphia now. Tony Longmire. Now, just like in real life, expansion teams go last, so we're gonna get the last pick. Nafi Perez going to Oakland A's. Jeffrey Hammonds to the Stros. Delray Cruz to the Yankees. Jermaine Dye to the Reds. Ray Ordonez to L.A. Cleveland getting Kevin Millar. Boston, Derek Lee. St. Louis, Roger Salkeld. Baltimore, Paul LaDuca. Scott Spezio. Look at their remaining budget room. They're struggling, the Tigers here. They got Scott Spezio. Torrey Hunter. Also, do they have the Tigers? Do they have 2 in a row? I think so, huh? Here's San Diego. Oh, I think they're just up on the clock. San Diego with Wilton Guerrero. Montreal, Benji Molina. Billy Wagner to the Mariners. Michael Tucker, second base to the White Sox. New York, Mets getting Craig Wilson. Milwaukee, Phil Nevin. Pittsburgh, Richie Sexton. Toronto, now we're getting near the end. Brian Anderson. Here's Minnesota. Mike the Red Dog Redmond. Atlanta. Oh, did we not get a first round pick? Is that what happened? Kevin Ory going to the Braves. Let's see here. Draft order. I didn't even look on the initial, like, is it the log? Let's go to draft order. So first round, did we just not get a? Here we are, 27, 28th after the Braves. Yeah, what happened here? Continue draft. Oh, I guess Braves are last. Okay. It's Braves are last pick, and here's the Rockies. That's why. Okay, that was dumb on my part. So we're up. I guess we just go. Should I go scouting director recommendation, or just? I think I just want to auto draft current round, and just let him do it. It's either that or I go recommendation. I just listen to him and do it. But I kind of want my assistant GM to do it. So I'm just going to auto draft current round, and we'll see who we get. We'll see who the Marlins get. Marlins got Randall Simon, and let's go back to draft log and see who we got. John Thompson, interesting. He was a Rocky in real life. I like that we got a starting pitcher. Good job us. Yeah, good control, decent stuff. Not great movement. Again, if I had my way, we'd go like high stuff, high movement. Don't really care as much about control. Yeah, we don't want to put guys on, but it might be better than a double or a home run, which is higher likelihood at altitude. Okay, now that we're in the second round, we might do a couple of these. Yeah, we're gonna stop recognizing a lot of guys. There's Dave Berg, Frank Minicino. Recognize a lot of these guys still, but we're just gonna go up to us. Braves with Jeff Suppan, and now we're gonna just finish the round, and we're gonna see who we got. Draft log all the way down. Karim Garcia. I don't like his defense, although he's got the potential to be almost average, but not good range. Home run power, good, like it. Gap power and contact, all right. He could be a good hitter for sure. I don't like his defense, so I want range out there in the outfield. But again, I'm giving that up. Let's do it again. Let's see who we got. Round 3. Did we not get a pick this round? Or did I go up to continue? I think I need to draft for us still. So here we go. Autocomplete round. Yes. Draft log. Round 3. Keith Herberling. Haven't heard of this guy. Real life. Never made the bigs. Okay, that's why. Looks okay. Yeah. I mean, similar to like Thompson. All right, good. I like that we're going for starting pitchers. Let's just get a lot of those guys. Here we go again. Auto draft current round. Soon here, I'm just going to complete the whole draft. Let's see. Draft log. Shane Bennett, a closer. Not very impressive, but we are getting into the mid rounds now. Okay. I don't know about that pick, but let's keep going here. What are we in the 5th round now? Autocomplete round. Yes. Draft log. Brooks Drysdale, another closer. Yeah, okay. I don't know about these picks, but fine. And we're just going to autocomplete draft. And we'll look in our minors and we'll see who we get. Okay, so yeah, we got to, I guess before they're even in there, we got to negotiate. However, some of the guys don't negotiate. So those guys, I assume, are in our single A now. Here they are. Yep. So we're almost filled up with our single A. We might not even go with all 35 guys. What I'm curious though is let's look at I think we can go to prospect pipeline, Rockies. And okay, it's got Benitez as our top guy right now, 340th prospect in the MLB. But again, this stuff certainly may move around. And looks like we got like Jose Jimenez. A lot of these guys, though, are not guys we just drafted. These are guys that I signed that are listed as our top guys. Where's like the first guy we've signed? I don't know. I guess Deshaun Warren. He looks like a starting pitcher. He might have been a guy that we drafted. Maybe Duran. I can't remember if we signed him or not. I'm guessing not, I'm guessing we signed him actually and didn't draft him because his control stinks. So I think all these guys, like, again, I got to negotiate with some guys. But there's Jose Jimenez. Looks like we drafted him. He's low stuff. Chris Norton is a catcher. I think he was a Rocky in real life at one point. He's been on a lot of teams. Oh, you know what? I guess I'm thinking of someone else. Maybe. Oh, I'm thinking of Greg Norton. I think. Yeah, Chris Norton. Not sure if he was ever in the Rockies minor league system. So anyway, yeah, looks like maybe we didn't find any diamonds in the rough, but these guys that we're going to negotiate with now, they are our top guys. So Thompson, looks like we got some extremely hard guys. Thompson, though, we're gonna meet his demand. 19,000, of course. We're gonna do that. Karim Garcia, what's he want? 19,000, absolutely. Keith Herberling, let's meet his land, 10,000. Shane Bennett, I mean, this guy, I wasn't very impressed with him. I guess he wants $750, so we might as well take him, I suppose. just to fill our minors. Like this guy is even worse. He doesn't want what's he want? 6,000. I mean, it's still nothing when we're looking at millions. But do we even this? We got a very high scout on this guy. I don't even want him in my organization. We're not going to take him. Brooks Drysdale, I suppose we'll take him. We'll take these last two guys. And then we're not going to go for Darden. He's extremely hard to get anyway. Okay, so now we do have the expansion draft coming up. I'm not going to do that yet. We'll do that next time. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I can figure out maybe how to like stop the stream and then restart it. But I'm new to this.